Hello, good morning. I'm just going to spend some time here demonstrating the concept behind Where's My Dad and actually showing how the two apps work together. The concept of Where's My Dad is all about children being able to find out where Dad is and what Dad's doing. Maybe Dad is away on business, maybe visiting a different country, seeing some new sights, and he wants to share that information with his children back at home so the children can find out what he's doing and can interact with him in some way that they wouldn't be able to do so without the app. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I've loaded both of our apps up, the Find Dad app and the Where's Dad app. So the Find Dad app has been launched into the simulator on the left-hand side, but in reality, that's probably on a child's iPod Touch or maybe a child's iPhone back at home. And on the right-hand side, we've got a program called Reflection, which is simply mirroring my iPhone 5 onto my Mac. So the first time I've launched the Where's Dad app, which is on the right hand side, the app has generated a PIN number. That's been generated automatically, and as that is unique to this device. What we need to do first of all to allow the child to access Dad's check-ins and interact with Dad is to connect the child app to the Dad app, and we do that on the child app here. Simply by saying connect to Dad. We enter the child's name, so maybe the child is called Bob, and then we have to enter a PIN number. So the PIN number we're entering here is the PIN number that's been generated on the Dad app. So in this case it's 00006. We can now press connect, and it tells us that the details have been saved. But before we can actually access Dad's check-ins, Dad must approve the connect request. So we press OK at that, and we're now simply waiting on the child app for Dad to do what he says he'll do. So back on my iPhone 5, when I go to settings, you can see that the app has retrieved the fact that Bob, the child, has tried to check in, and the first thing I've got to do is approve that. So I do that just by pressing the tick to say that that's okay, and that Bob can access my connections. And just going back to the left-hand side here in the simulator, that now knows we're connected, which is good news, and we'll now be able to see when we check in. So on my iPhone 5, I'm now Dad. I'm away abroad somewhere. Maybe I've, went away on business. And what I would want to do is check in. So I press the check in button. First time I do this, asks if we can use our current location. What we're going to do is just select a photo. So we're going to take a brand new photo, and you're going to get a lovely shot of my flat now. So we're going to take that photo. We're going to choose to use that within the app. I can also select my closest city. So I'm actually based here in the UK, very near Chester. So I'm going to choose Chester, being my closest city, and I'm going to add some details to my check-in. So this is in fact no, maybe check-in from my flat. So add that, and then we simply press check-in. Check-in's been successful. Now when I come back into this app here, it'll probably take just a couple of seconds. There we go. We've now checked in from my flat, and the child can access that check-in simply by clicking on it. And in a couple of seconds you'll see the photo will load up that we took. A couple of nice things we can do. We can view Dad's location. So this has used location services to establish where Dad is actually at. The reason why we asked the user to select their closest city was to do with landmarks and facts down here. So if I go into landmarks and facts, we have two databases. We have the Dad Facts database and the Global Facts database. So in the Global Facts database, this is information that we have collected as a company. So we've collected information, for example, Chester is a walled city, and there's a picture of Chester walls. The clock is the second most photographed clock after Big Ben in the UK. And it's been a city since 1541. And what Dad is able to do on his app, so if I go back to my iPhone 5, if he goes back into the check-in, he can actually go into the facts database. He can also access the global facts if he wants to, but he also has the option to add a Dad fact. So I'm going to take a photo. I'm going to take a photo actually of my Mac, and say currently using a Mac to demo Where's My Dad. Macs are much superior to Windows machines. There we go. So we'll add that fact into that check-in. And now coming back to here, again, it may just take a couple of seconds to click back into it, but there we go. It is now come up for the child to see the fact that Dad is added, and he can see that we're currently using the Mac to demo the Where's My Dad app. Let me just click back. The other functionality that's within the apps is the ability for the child and dad to have a message conversation. So I can go into here and I can maybe send dad a message. So here is a message, Dad. Like your check-in, or whatever he wants to send. So we add that in just like that. And then I need to click back on my iPhone 5. I can now go back to my messages. Let me just take a second. Yeah, there we go. The messages come through. Here is a message like your check-in. So that's the main functionality within the Where's My Dad two apps. The two apps do work obviously very closely together. The most complicated thing as far as we can see is obviously connecting the two apps together. We've provided a button in both of the apps to provide some instructions in terms of how to do that. And we've also produced some video tutorials which we'll make available on the internet on the Where's My Dad website to help people get to grips with how to do that. Obviously very happy to answer any questions that you might have about Where's My Dad and what we've done with that, so please feel free to give me a call or drop me an email at steve@footsqueek.co.uk. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you very soon. Many thanks.